All right, we're back here pitch side. Thanks there to Cisco Munoz. Alongside me, a man who really needs no introduction, Xabi Alonso. How excited are you to be here in Malaysia, in JDT, heart of Johor?
Yeah, we are really happy to be here. It's a fantastic stadium. It's a club that they are doing things really well. I follow them for years, for sure, because there is a strong influence from Spanish people. Some of them I know pretty well. So happy to be here, and hopefully that we have a great game tonight.
I wanted to ask you, Xabi, obviously when you come to a new team, what's more difficult to implement? Are you implementing your tactical thoughts or culture? Which one is harder when you come into a new team as a coach?
Culture, it takes longer because it's about habits, and the habits you need to be consistent day by day. For sure, the preseason is being interesting. We are adapting to context. We are still missing a big part of the squad that are going to play an important role. Once we are back in London, they will be here. But it takes time. But you see where we want to get, what we can achieve. The potential is there, and now we need to work and know that the process is one that we want to enjoy it as well.
Stanley?
Basically, I knew you had a lot of proposals on the table. This wasn't the only club that was chasing you. Why Chelsea?
It's one of the greatest clubs with a great history. I knew the players pretty well, the potential of the squad. For me, it came in a moment as well important. So I think that the timing fit quite well, and there was a strong connection with everyone that we are aligned what we want to achieve. And now it's time to work and to do things properly.
We've seen you play across 3 countries. We've seen you manage in 2. Now it's your 3rd country. What differences do we expect from your philosophy of football now that you're managing in England?
Yeah, England and the Premier League is the most competitive context that we are going to face. For sure, for me, it's going to be challenging as well. But there are a few principles, few ideas that's me.
Non-negotiable.
No, it's you can change your essence, and that's how you transmit to your team, and that the team and the players, they engage that. If we connect that way, things will work. I'm pretty sure of that.
What can Chelsea fans expect from Chelsea this season under your tutelage?
We want to show. We don't want to. We promise this. We need to show on the pitch. It's much actions talk much louder than words, and we want to show on the pitch.
Okay. And final question: have you managed to message Luis Garcia? He's part of the club, of course.
Yeah. I have spoken to him, and you know, Luis and myself, we have a strong history together, so that lasts forever.
All right, that's true.
Thank
you very much.
Thank
Best of luck.
Okay.
All the best for the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chelsea's final preseason game in Malaysia was supposed to be another relaxed opportunity for the Blues to complete their preparations before returning to Europe. Instead, the match against Johor Darul Ta'zim turned into one of the most heated games of Chelsea's preseason tour. The match finished 3-3, but the scoreline only tells part of the story. Because at several points during the game, emotions boiled over, players clashed, and even members of the coaching staff became involved in heated exchanges. So what actually caused all the drama? Let's go back to the moment when things started getting serious. Chelsea were facing a Johor Darul Ta'zim side that clearly wasn't treating this as a casual exhibition. The Malaysian champions played with intensity, competing aggressively for challenges and making Chelsea work for every possession. Chelsea, meanwhile, were trying to complete their pre-season tour on a positive note. But the physical nature of the game gradually began to frustrate the Blues. One of the biggest flashpoints came after a strong challenge involving Liam Delap. Johor defender Antonio Glauder made an aggressive challenge on the Chelsea striker, and that immediately triggered a reaction from the Chelsea players. What could have been just another physical challenge suddenly became something much bigger. Players began confronting each other. Nicolas Jackson became involved. Tosin Adarabioyo was also part of the confrontation. And suddenly, instead of players concentrating on the next phase of the game, attention had shifted toward the confrontation. Chelsea players were clearly unhappy with what they considered excessive physicality. Johor players, meanwhile, weren't backing down. And this is where pre-season football can sometimes become unpredictable. Even though there are no Premier League points at stake, professional footballers are still competing. Nobody wants to lose a challenge. Nobody wants to be intimidated. And when one player feels a teammate has been treated unfairly, emotions can rise very quickly. The referee had to intervene and restore order. But the tension didn't completely disappear. In fact, the match continued to produce more incidents. Chelsea were also struggling defensively, and Johor repeatedly found opportunities to attack. The Malaysian side eventually scored 3 goals, while Chelsea responded through Liam Delap, who scored twice from the penalty spot, before a late own goal from Glaude rescued a 3-3 draw for the Blues. For Chelsea, it was a strange afternoon. They had shown character by coming back. But they had also demonstrated some of the problems that Xabi Alonso will want to correct. The defensive organization wasn't convincing. The discipline wasn't perfect. And the players sometimes allowed frustration to affect their decision-making. 5 Chelsea players were reportedly booked, with 7 yellow cards shown during the match overall. But the drama wasn't limited to the players. Things became even more heated on the touchline. Chelsea's new set-piece coach Austin McPhee became involved in a furious exchange with a member of the Johor staff. The argument became intense enough that Xabi Alonso had to intervene and restrain McPhee. Think about that for a moment. This was supposed to be a pre-season friendly. But the intensity had reached a point where even the coaching staff were becoming involved. And that tells you just how competitive the match had become. Alonso will certainly have been watching closely. For a manager, these moments can actually provide useful information. You learn how your players react when they're frustrated. You learn who keeps their head. You learn who protects their teammates. And you learn who needs to improve their discipline. Chelsea will face much tougher opponents when competitive football begins. If frustration gets the better of them in important matches, it could cost them. So while Alonso may not be happy with everything he saw, the match has given him plenty to think about. And then came another bizarre chapter. The match ended 3-3, and a penalty shootout had reportedly been expected as part of the arrangement for the friendly. Players appeared ready for the shootout. But then it didn't happen. The planned penalty decider was unexpectedly cancelled, creating confusion around the stadium. Reports said Chelsea staff argued that the shootout had been included in the agreement, while Johor ultimately did not participate. So instead of finishing the preseason tour with a dramatic penalty shootout, the match simply ended as a draw. It was an incredibly unusual ending to an already chaotic game. And for Chelsea, there are several lessons to take from the entire experience. First, the Blues need to improve their defensive discipline. Conceding 3 goals against Johor is obviously something Alonso will want to examine. Second, Chelsea need to control their emotions. Football is physical. There will be challenges. There will be arguments. And there will be moments when opponents try to disrupt your rhythm. The best teams know how to stay focused. And third, Chelsea need to become more consistent. They showed character by coming back from difficult positions. Delap's 2 penalties demonstrated composure. And the late own goal ensured Chelsea avoided defeat. But Alonso will want more than just resilience. He will want control. He will want Chelsea to dictate matches. He will want the players to remain calm regardless of what the opponent does. Because when the Premier League begins, Chelsea won't always have time to recover from defensive mistakes. Every mistake could cost points. Every unnecessary booking could create problems. And every loss of concentration could change a match. That's why this supposedly friendly game could actually prove valuable. It exposed Chelsea's weaknesses before the season properly begins. And now Alonso has the opportunity to work on them. The preseason tour is almost over. Chelsea have traveled across Asia. They have tested different players. They have experimented with different tactical ideas. And now, the manager has a much clearer picture of his squad. The Johor game may not have produced the result Chelsea wanted. But perhaps the biggest benefit is that it gave Alonso another opportunity to understand his players under pressure. The question now is simple. Can Chelsea learn from this? Can they become more disciplined? Can they defend better? And most importantly, can Xabi Alonso turn these preseason lessons into a stronger Chelsea team? Because the real football is coming. The pre-season excuses will soon disappear. The Premier League will arrive. And Chelsea will have to be ready. The clash with Johor may have been a friendly on paper, but it certainly didn't feel friendly at times. And perhaps that is exactly why it could become one of the most useful lessons of Chelsea's entire pre-season tour.